Well, in the background. That's where we'll have the background noise. Okay, what the fuck? Right. What's going on here? So the whole night was going okay. It was going just fucking fine. And then, oh hell, apparently my backup phone, that has its own purposes. Apparently it decided to fucking reset itself. And it did it in my pocket. Okay, it was fully fucking charged. And I hope this cigar is fucking good. It's a Rocky Patel. So we're starting off. I have my confidence in this actually being good. Hopefully it really fucking is. Holy shit. Where's my damn hole puncher? We can't start the video without it. Where'd it go? There it is. Fucking hell. You just get some moments that just makes you go, really? For real? It's burning rather quickly. It lit rather well. Cool. Jesus. Oh. So I guess we'll get that out of the way. How about that? We'll get out the one complaint I have today. And something I didn't really think would be a thing today. I didn't know. So I was on Twitter and we'll talk about some of the engagements I ended up getting into. But went ahead and did that. Ran that fine. Did it on that one. That one has two networks on it. One is, it was the old show line, which I still keep. I still have it there. Which isn't tied to anything. This has kind of an herbal taste to it, actually. It's what was it, Rocky Patel Vintage 92. It'd actually be easier if I show you this. Rocky Patel. Which end has that? There you go. Vintage 1992. That was a recommendation at one of my cigar shops. But yeah, I do my thing on the Twitters, and I get off of that, and I go to charge the phone. If it's charged, it's charged at 100%, and I didn't have to use it all day today. Made a nice killing at work, by the way. New Year's Day, I always work those, and the reason I work those, okay, nobody's throwing a party day of New Year's. They always do it for New Year's Eve. Ask a buddy of mine who I just got back in contact with how she knows. But yeah, this was even better. All kind of bonuses were being offered and stuff. Let's just say I made out pretty fucking well. To the point where, I decided to leave early. I hit up what's his name? Jack Napier. You may know that Dutch asshole. He does something called Red Evening with some guy called Rob Says at robsays.net, Some unknown people, whatever. And they had their own show, and they were going to do a New Year's show. I sent them a message, or at least commented on it. Hey, you got room for one more? Because I was just going to take that night off early. I knew I was going to make quite a bit of coin. That's how New Year's goes. Of course, I never heard back, and as far as I can tell, I never got invited on, so I didn't join, which is fine. I sat there and just kind of watched and was in the comment section for a while. Then, in the middle of that, I get a fucking call, and it's actually from my mom, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And she just wanted to talk. They'll say Happy New Year's and give me kind of an update on what's going on with her. Hey, though, my father up here, he also called me. He was asked me how I was doing. Now, in case you don't know, maybe I actually haven't talked about this, but apparently, was it the day after, we met up for Christmas? Both of them ended up testing positive for COVID. With my mom-in-law ended up actually going to the hospital. Now, it seemed like a kidney infection, and it probably still was, as far as the symptoms go. Well, long story short, they're back home. They're doing just fucking fine. Keep in mind, my mom-in-law has a very compromised immune system, and she's had to have kidneys. She had to have kidney transplants. Not exactly a beacon of health here. Now, if she can fucking beat this shit that easily, whether it was even the fucking Rona to begin with, then fuck all you assholes that think we need to shut everything down, make everybody muzzle up and social distance, all this other bullshit. But he contacted me and, asked me how I was doing because, I was there. And aside from the dehydration the morning after, because I did try, but I predictably failed at getting enough water in. Mostly beers, though, so I maintained quite well. Aside from that, I was fine. I was 100%. He was happy to hear that. That's great. And he told me that they're doing a lot better. She's out of the hospital. She's doing okay. I went and took them. This is something I kept forgetting to bring over. It was a brownie cheesecake. I shit you not. Found that at my local SARS Super Saver over in Auburn. And, oh man, it's worth it. The fuck that is, but it's going off my screen. Yeah, so they're doing fine. So he called me. Mom called me, wanted to wish me happy New Year's, see how I was doing. She actually, and I get a lot of feedback. Some of the feedback I will get, like it would be about something that I've said that may offend somebody. And say, how would you feel, like saying this to your mom or something like that? It's like, you do realize she listens to the show. She's known about the website since day fucking one. And in fact, One of the things she talked about, and I'll help her out with this in the background. Not going to give her away because she puts her legal stuff out there. So I can't really advertise her here. Not in this format, at least. She's asking me for help. No. Okay, that makes me question whether she's listened to the show. Because I'm the last fucking person you want to ask for help. But hey, I'll do what I can. I do have a functioning website. I'm on YouTube live streaming right now. You have a social media presence. I guess I'm doing something okay. Just drinking the rest of my beer, and I'm going to move on to some other things. No, I forgot I had this. So I think I did both of those whiskeys that I had, and they're going to be coming up later here. Last night, where I did kind of an official review of them. There's the Suntory whiskey. It's a Japanese whiskey, and Rogue's Dead Guy whiskey. Which I don't like Rogues. Now, here's what I didn't think of, and I'm always the overdoer person. When you fill up a glass like this, it should be around this level, probably even lower, if you're going to get the full effect. All the sitting stuff. Right now, I have Screwball in here. Screwball, in case you're wondering. Yes, the fucking bottle is dirty, and it's for a reason. I use it in my candied bacon. By the way, yes, it is worth getting, and it is some dangerous shit, man. This is just, you are drinking peanut butter. But yeah, before the show restarted, well, there's a reason why I was doing that in the first place. We'll get to that. I decided to try again. And I put that post up on Instagram. Oh, wait. We do have new people here. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for subscribing. If you're listening to this is somehow getting to you and you're not subscribed here, please go ahead and subscribe and do all the things that every YouTuber ever tells you to fucking do. There's bells and thumbs ups and comments and all this other shit. Please do that. It all helps. But yeah, instead of having it filled up around here, I had it more filled up around here. So I was getting a lot more liquor than this was supposed to be actually be able to do. Now it can hold it, obviously, but that's not this glass's particular purpose. And so I tried, in particular, the Suntory. That I put that post on Instagram, and that's the one that got the most response. What's her name? A-Dub. She said it was the bomb, and then what's his name? Techno Rona down in Austin. So it was like it wasn't that okay, and I actually sided with him on that. I didn't voice my opinion, but yeah, like I just kind of got. It just kind of tasted like whiskey, that had a little bit more alcohol to it, and it does. It's 86 proof, not 80. But I tried the proper way, and definitely more of what it said it had. Some subtle, like some nice. It was nice and sweeter. It was all around much better. And the same with the Rogue. A much better experience. So there you go. I'll eat my words on that. Anyways, I know I'm getting home and I'm checking some things. Can't go check my my other phone. I always check that first because there's illegal info that's on there. So have to check that. And it's telling me to select a language. I'm like, what the fuck? I've already done that. Why are you telling me to select a language? Turns out the fucking thing did a fucking factory reset in my pocket. I'm looking like, are you for real? Now it's done other wacky shit. We wanted to download some fucking update that was like 2 gigabytes or some shit like that, which the memory, it wouldn't even have the memory for that in the internal storage. And it's done other crazy shit that I can't really think of right now. But you know what? That fucking takes cake. Now, I just lost. Now, thankfully, I had a fucking SD card in there, so I had taken screenshots of one of the things that's going to be coming up here. And I thought I lost that too. I was like, that's kind of important. I kind of need those. Thank God I actually went an SD card because that didn't get fucking erased or formatted or whatever the fuck happens these days. Yeah, now I'm having to reinstall all these apps. Now I'm gonna have to log back into every fucking thing I was logged into in the first fucking place. Now I'm gonna have to reset the fucking pin. By the way, the fucking pin that I had there. Oh, insert your previous pin to access some shit. Oh, yeah, your pin's wrong. Motherfucker, only have one fucking pin. Are you fucking for real? Okay, so that, you're out. Huawei, I like you. You get a bad rap, from the FBI and shit. And I'm probably going to get shit for saying that it's a Huawei phone because, dude, bro, oh my God, it's a fucking Chinese product, dude, bro. The Chinese are going to have access to all your data, and I care why. First of all, most of your devices are already made by China anyways. Including your fucking Apples. I mean, unless it's made by like Samsung or LG, most of it's made in China anyways. Or Motorola. Motorola, I think, is made here, and it's a shit fucking product. I hate Motorola. By the way, I'm not singing Samsung's praises. I hate Samsung. I've never had a good experience with fucking Samsung. Never going back to them. Kyocera I do like, actually. I don't remember exactly where they're from. I think they're also from South Korea. I'm not sure. Or I think was another one. Nokia. Nokias are pretty good. They're like Sweden or Finland or something like that. But don't at me from liking fucking Huawei's because they, for the most part, they treat me okay. This shit has been an anomaly. The one I have is a Honor 7S. It was a replacement to the 7A that I had stolen out of my car last year. And that worked fucking flawlessly. I like that one a lot. I was even able to record shows on it. I'm able to record on this, and that's what I'm going to be doing with this. This is getting retired because I can't fucking have that shit happen. I'm glad it happened the way it did. Okay, it was 100% when I put it in my pocket, and I did nothing with it. And usually, I take it out, and it's like, what, 98%? But I'll take it out this time. It's like, okay, it's 13% battery for whatever fucking reason. And now I'm having to enter all this other bullshit and log back into like the fucking Google accounts and all this other shit that I have. Because it fucking reset. That's the whole reason I'm doing this. I'm about an hour late in doing this. Because I had to deal with that. I'm going to have to deal with it even more probably tomorrow. I'll get everything back, set back up. But you know what? I was looking at other phones. I was going to replace the one that I'm recording this on, that I'm live streaming on. But there really isn't a better model out there yet. So I'm stuck with this one. And at least it's working now. At least it's not fucking resetting itself for all the faults that it has. So no. There's one that I want to get. It's another Honor. And it's got, everybody seems to like it. And if it was the right size and had the right size battery, it would be a replacement of this phone. But I said, you know what? That would be a good backup. That's what I'm going to be getting in the next few weeks or so to replace this one. This will be the recording phone. It's going to replace the other one. For, the recordings go on to goddamnbacon.com, Rock Revolver Review, End Times Report, like this one. We'll explain the End Times Report in a minute. There's a reason I'm doing this live. Usually I just do it as a podcast. I used to do it. Well, I'll explain that later. For now, whoa! Let's crack some Prosecco. Specifically Cupcake. That's what I usually get for the new year. Most people get champagne or some other sort of, CO2 laden wine. I get Prosecco. Why? Because it's underrated. It's cheaper and is as good, if not better, as most other sparkling wines or whatever. Cupcake in particular. Usually it's about $12, $13 a bottle. This I got for, what was it? Rollback. I got it at Walmart. It was $10.98 plus tax, which is horrendous here, but what are you going to do? Kind of untenable to drive to Idaho or Montana to go do my grocery shopping. So you got to work with what you work with. So this bottle I actually had, I brought it with me from the old apartment. I gotten 3 more of these. One was going to be for myself. The other 2 they're going to be for, and they were for the building manager down below me, and the actual property owner. And it seems everybody liked it, or at least they liked the idea. And I told them what the idea was. It's for the New Year's. I was supposed to drink this on the show last night and totally fucking forgot. And you know what? I'll forgive myself for that, actually. I had a very decent beer to drink last night by, what was it? Scamp Brewing. It was their Gustavo Strong Ale. It was like a chocolate raspberry. Now, Strong Ales, I think they're supposed to be like in the 10 to 12 alcohol percentage range is like 6.5 or something. I didn't care. It was that fucking good. It was that fucking good. I had it before. I had to get it again. And you know what? Next time I visit them, I'll probably get that again. It's that fucking good. But I realized, okay, I have 3 of these, and actually, I wanted to send my folks some stuff. Now, there was a bottle of, what was it? Everybody knows Cabernet Sauvignon, which, by the way, if you don't know, that actually is a blend between 2 different grapes. Cabernet Sauvignon, it's really known, especially if you go to Napa Valley. I'm going to go ahead and pour myself this. Oh, here's that's the Suntory bottle. Now, last show I had it in, what do you call it? The proper, where'd that go? Yeah, fuck it, not important. I had it in a little, I don't know what you call this, but it's the glass that I got from Bourbon and Bacon. That's what they serve it in. And again, I think I fucked that up. I think that's what happened. And those things happen, I'm trying to get it tastes better. This time I have it in a rocks glass with just kind of a small rock in here. It's my recently repaired rocks glass from I got from Yellowstone National Park. So I'm trying to with something to cut it with. And that's something that, and we'll get back to the cupcake in a moment, but just about whiskey and probably other spirits too. I'm not sure. I just noticed about people who make bourbons and scotches and stuff. People they make a big deal of trying them neat, like, and that's the one way to That's the one way to actually do whiskey. You have to do it neat, and everything else is blasphemy or whatever the fuck it is. Distillers of their own fucking whiskeys will tell you to add a drop of water. It helps with the surface tension. If you want to try it by itself, then by all means. But, add ice chips, add a block of, or an ice cube. Maybe even mix it with soda, or soda water or Coca-Cola or whatever. They'll tell you to do that. And just as far as adding a little bit of water goes, that opens up the whiskey to a lot of different things. Oh, I wanted to do that as well. And I'm getting the same results that I did. Maybe it's because I had a little bit of water in there in the other glass, but this is holding up a lot better than it did last night. Well, Techno Ronin wasn't all that pressed, and that's fine. I mean, this is the entry level. I saw this at Walmart. That's what made me want to get it. I was like, oh, I can get this at Walmart. Cool. It'll be my entry into Japanese whiskey. And that's what it was meant to be. I never had Japanese whiskey. So why not get the entry level stuff? Oh, what am I going to do? Like dive into the shit that's like $500 instead of, I don't know, 50 or whatever the fuck this was? I was taking to this pretty well. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. back to the Prosecco, and there's a reason I went on that tangent. Happy New Year's, assholes. So, back to the Cabernet Sauvignon. It's two grapes that kind of merged. One obviously is Sauvignon Blanc, which is that was one of my go-to white wines. I don't know if it is anymore. Yeah, I think it still is. Why not? Why not? Where the Cabernet part comes from is it's a grape called Cabernet Franc. Now, I don't know if you've heard of that one before. But if you have, usually it's used in blends. You know, red, white, red blends, dark blends, whatever. Is usually not the forefront. But if you just have Cabernet Franc by itself, it's a very good varietal. And I found one again at the local SARS Super Saver. Literally called the Franc. Hey, you know what? Should I go look for it? Hang on, I'm gonna go find it. Hang on. Be right back. See if I can find it. I get a wine rack in there, a walk-in closet. I'll have to put this back later. It's literally called the Franc. I might teach this on the show at some point. Actually, I might get another bottle of it this week. I'm glad they stocked this, and it's definitely it's the real shit. It's a 2018 Cabernet Franc. Let's be Franc with the C. Hey, you see what they did? What they did there? Cabernet Franc is the most underappreciated varietal, overshadowed by its offspring Sauvignon. What I was saying earlier. Anonymous in blends, used only for its aroma. We choose instead to feature it in the starting role. Okay, so it might be other grapes in here. I don't know. Does it say? No, it doesn't. Celebrate as peppery perfume. Yeah, that's one thing I like, and that's why I like Zinfandels as well. It's nice, as deep as bold, and it has kind of a peppery, kind of a spicy taste to it. That's why I like Francs as well. And you never see them. That's why I got it. It's bluish hue, raspberry reminisce, Viva la Franc. Okay, yeah. Bottled by Constantiza Winery, Hopland, California. I don't know where Hopland is. One I guess is in the Napa area. So yeah, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, and I got that. And usually I try to do a red and a white because she likes both, as do I. More partial to reds, but you know what? Some whites are good. Chenin Blanc is one that's really good. Riesling, I think, is my favorite. Sauvignon Blanc also is definitely a heavier version. I mean, I think that's why it was crossbred with cabs. You know, it was crossbred with Cabernet Franc. Yeah, I lean more towards red. So, but I wanted to send her, and what I was thinking is I couldn't figure out what I wanted to send her, and then I realized I had this bottle of the cupcake prosecco sitting around. It's like, okay, here we go. I could send her the Franc. As I can almost guarantee she's never had Cabernet Franc. She usually leans more Pinot Noirs and Pinot Grigios and stuff like that. I don't even know if she's heard of it. I know it because I've gone to the chocolate and wine festivals out here. By the way, worth going. You may or may not get laid, but it's fucking worth going to go talk to the, vineyard owners and winery outpost people and all that stuff and glean all the knowledge from them. Definitely is. Another place I got a lot of knowledge, and I talked about this at Skank Brewing. Tastingwithtom.com. Now he stopped doing that show, but I think the website is still up, and I learned a lot, not just about wines, but about spirits. That's where I heard about these assholes. Rogue Spirits. They don't just make beers, they make spirits too. But it's worth it just for that. And so that's why I chose it. I got a bottle of that, and I ended up with a extra bottle of cupcakes. So, hey, I'll send her that. What better as a New Year's gift? Somebody can drink on New Year's. Apparently, it hasn't shown up there yet, and it was supposed to show up end of the day on New Year's. Maybe the post office took that day off, and the day off too, because they haven't gotten it now. I haven't checked the actual tracking number to see what the hell's going on with it. Hopefully it's still intact. They didn't get destroyed or anything like that, which is possible. Though I do trust my shop and the way they package things. They're very good at it. That's why I go there. Things I would be worried about get destroyed there. It was the beers that I got. I got them from Scamp Brewing. It was 2 of them I got, and it was for her husband. I just call him that because I don't want to name him here. Cool guy. I like him. He's been good to me. He's a good guy. So I got him something special. Well, that maybe if that's the case, then that's what fucked things up. But I realized that I had this here. So okay, cool. I can go ahead and just send that there, and I still have a bottle of cupcake. I tried the other wines too, and they're pretty damn good. I mean, they don't break the bank, they're like anywhere between $10 to $15, and they're still pretty good. I don't need a Casper mattress. Trust me, as my old bedmates would attest, mattress I have is pretty fucking good. Got it right off of Amazon. But thank you, Casper and Brave, for putting that ad up there. Thanks. But yeah, I guess there's that problem, and the phone fucking resetting it now. Again, look, this could have happened in a more stressful situation. I'm glad it happened more in a controlled setting. You always want shit to go wrong in a more controlled setting. Let's just put it that way. What if, I'm using a device that I'm talking to you on now, live streaming on now. I'm using it for my job, using it for anything else that I kind of need it for. And it goes down. Now, okay, your rifle goes down, you need to draw your handgun. But then the handgun is jammed or is for whatever fucking reason, all the ammo has fucking left it. So it's essentially useless. You don't want to be in that kind of situation. And so, yeah, that sucks. Now, I saved all the pictures. That's good. Saved a few other things that were on the SD card, not in the internal storage. That's good. But now I got to rebuild that. And that's eventually going to get phased out because I can't deal with that shit. No. Not acceptable. But at least it happened now. That's what I can complain about. My folks not getting their damn gifts when they were supposed to get there. I just hope they get there. And they're on the same page. I was like, they're not worried about it. They were worried about even getting anything on Christmas, let alone New Year's or whatever. I said it because I wanted to. Because I wanted them to try this stuff. Because I want them to experience different things that they wouldn't get otherwise. I handpicked this shit for a reason. I spent a lot of money actually sending this shit. It was far more money sending this shit than it was buying it. Which I'm fine with. I don't know. For me, at least, shit that's handpicked, so I was going to beat everything else. Because I put my own touch on it. I might have to get another rock for that. Yeah, those are the problems that I have. And right now, that's about it. I can talk about the car, too. Maybe a few other things. I'm going to get another rock, actually. I want to dive back into that road. Let's see how that does. You're right back. Your argument is pretty solid, by the way. Give me more rocks. I'm glad I kept this glass. I was tempted to throw it away. I was very dejected that I had cracked it and all that stuff, but I knew I'd be able to repair it. And I'm glad I did. I really am. Because it is a cool glass, and it's, in my opinion, even cooler now. Because I don't know. There's about 3-4 dozen other glasses like that. They're manufactured like this. Probably more glass like this. I don't see too many that look like this. But I'm sure there's other parks and other places that have glasses that look like, this one. They have the feet in the bottom that looks like the Pepsi can or the Pepsi bottle, whatever you call it. Little, not fiber, whatever. And it's just the painted on thing there, You go to Yellowstone and they have their logo. You go to Yosemite and they have their logo. You go to Grand Tetons, Black Hills, Smoky Mountains, whatever. probably the same thing. You might find that. I haven't seen it in any other parks, but I can't rule that out. This one now, due to my own fuck up, has its own uniqueness. Maybe a little bit less structurally integral, but I'm not gonna be. It's not like my coffee mug. Grab that real quick. It's not this. Like, it's not gonna be an implement on home defense. I'm not gonna beat somebody to death with it. It's something I enjoy whiskey out of. Damn fine whiskey. And now that I have an ice tray that makes cubes a little bit smaller that actually will fit in here without me fitting it, trying to force it in here, I think we're good. I think I'll refill this one too. Yeah, that tastes even better than it did last night. It does. Let's talk about it. It's solid. It isn't like the one that I'm going to be looking for later today when I wake up. But it's solid. I like it. Plus, it came with a case. I like that's something I can always appreciate. Oh man. I mean, I guess to the point of title of this. I've been saying this for a while now, specifically for the last half of the year that I guess should not be named. And everybody's talked about it. Oh my God. Can't wait for it to be over. What's going to happen next? Please bring on 2021. And I'm not going to lie, there was a lot of parts, including, not just a few weeks ago, parts of that year that were very fucking hard for me to get through for various reasons. I mean, part of that was 2020 related. Part of that was just normal life, normal obstacles you have to get through. But overall, and especially now, we're in the second day of it, technically of the new year. And as far as I'm sitting, it's no different than a few days ago. Things are just as good now as they were back then. Although the caveat that I have now broken into my own damn Christmas presents that I kept forgetting to fucking open because, look, I splurged on myself for Christmas. I got these two things, and you guys saw them on the Instagrams and the Twitters and all the other stuff. Now drinking Prosecco instead of champagne because I prefer Prosecco, and it's definitely bang for your buck. But I was drinking decent shit back then too. Even that didn't break the bank. And it even, it helped support a local business. A business that I care about. And I want to see continue to stay alive and flourish and be able to pay their employees and make a profit and all of that stuff. Well, the fact life has been good. Things have worked out. And it's worked out because I've done what I could to make them work out. The reason I'm able to sit here and talk to you assholes while smoking a cigar, drinking whiskey, and champagne, or usually it's a beer or maybe a wine or something, and talk about other things that are going on. And that's what the End Times Report usually is. And I probably should have gotten to that well before was the 52-minute mark now. So if you made it this far, thanks for tuning in. The End Times Report, in case you're unaware, there are new people here, so if you're still listening, this is what it's about. What it started as was when the initial lockdowns began, and literally there was nowhere to go. All the bars were closed. All the restaurants were closed. If you're in the nightclubs for some god awful reason, those were closed. There was nowhere to go. And so what I did was I made a couple of private groups on Instagram. And back when I was at the old place, I would walk to the local park and either I was started or Nick Shoelander, nickshoelander.com, by the way. One of us would start a group chat in the private group. And I would record it on a different device. And we would just kind of talk back and forth. We would talk about what's going on, in our areas. I live on in the Puget Sound in Seattle. I live in that area. Nick lives in Pullman. We have people from all over the place. Splinter, he lives in Baltimore. Mary Jo lives in Austin. Rob says lives in Salt Lake City. Chad Oakins lives in the Chicago area. We had Jack Napier on once. He's in the Netherlands. We have people from all over the place, and they will talk about what's going on in their areas, and what's going on in their lives and all that stuff too. And again, the reason it's called the End Times Report is, well, Jesus, this virus is going to kill us all. Why don't we make it the End Times Report? Why not? And so that went on for quite a while. And then things started opening back up. And then people started disappearing, and I would start trying to launch chats, and nobody would join. I mean, and I'm not offended. I take that as a good sign. I guess that means that you guys found something else to do, and good for you. So it ended up becoming just a straight up podcast. I'm just recording it. And so it's just me reporting on the ground here now. Now, at any point, if you want to bring that back, I am more than happy to do it. Because again, closing time here is 10:30 in the fucking evening. I don't play well with those rules. So, no. So as long as that's the case, that will be a regular program. I'm not doing it. I'm doing it here instead of just recording it. Simply because I don't feel like doing the work. I don't. I need the break. Honestly, yeah, it's just easier uploading here. I see why people just do the fucking YouTube thing, because YouTube just takes care of everything. I don't have to upload. I don't have to put together a post and all this other shit. Look, I got other like Rob says all the time. I got shit to do. So fine, we'll do this. And I wanted to put this up there so you guys kind of have an idea of what that's like. That's why I named this End Times Report, not a Renegade broadcast. So you have an idea. Wasn't quite like that. Well, actually, it was kind of like that. Because I talked about a lot of what was going on here. Anyways. Yeah, it was pretty popular for a while, and then everyone found things to do. So just a podcast now, which is fine. And keep doing it as long as, well, it's tenable, I guess. Which I'm fine with. But as far as things are going here, as you're saying, life is good. Shit has gone fucking well. I'm smoking decent cigars. I'm drinking good, bubbly, not champagne, but Prosecco. I think this, again, just my opinion, I think it's superior. Decent whiskeys on the rocks, which the rock has disappeared because I think the whiskey was too warm for it. I've got good food waiting in the wings. Again, back to the title of this: Sinning and Winning. Or to the original, Decade of Winning. That's what it came up with. as far as just how your outlook was. You know, a lot of people, they thought, okay, and we even talked about this at my local Safeway. By the way, store code 0531, I believe. Also down in Auburn. One of the best ones out there. But we talked about that in checkout line. And they kind of went through hell because, look, the people who work in Auburn, that's one thing. The people who live in there and just anywhere else out here, that's a whole different story entirely. Again, it's the same store that I went to get a can of soup and some other shit, and this was the night before snowpocalypse, and people were literally shoveling armfuls of fucking soup cans and shit into their carts. Okay, so the people maybe, but given this, as far as the mask, the mandate shit, they don't care. They don't fucking care. They got bigger shit to deal with. Hey, if that shit happened and there was a snowpocalypse, they'd be more worried about the snowpocalypse. So I'll give them that fucking credit. Forgot what we were talking about. Yeah, I really did forget what I was talking about. Whatever. That Safeway cool as fuck. There always have been. Yeah, I totally forgot what I was talking about. Sorry, man. These things happen. But they're good people. Let's just put it that way. I guess to get back to my original point, you know what? Things are good. Things are looking at. I'm looking at where I want to park some of the money that I have. I'm looking at credit unions. I'm looking at different credit cards. And I'm looking at different programs that I could save things. So there's one program, I'm not going to name them yet, but you buy investments in that and they give you a steady 5% return. Now, if you look at the stock market, and just as Tom Likas will tell you, that's a full-time job. You get an average of a 7% return. By the way, that compounds. So if you save $100, you have $100 in some account or whatever. and the APY is 7%. That's $107 after that year is gone. But afterwards, you have that $107 plus that 7% on top of that. It compounds. And trust me, do not underestimate the power of compound interest in anything. But we're just talking about finance now. So I'm looking into a lot of those things. And once I figure those out, I'll talk about that more here. But just as important is saving money, not just on just other expenses, just what do you call it? Expenses that you didn't have to make, but expenses that you are going to make in the first place, like gas to get to work or do work, groceries. If you can get, and what I'm looking at, 5% off on Amazon purchases that I'm going to have to make, 5% off of gas, 5% off of groceries, all this stuff. That's going to be as important as any investment you put out there. So you have that compound interest, but you know what? You're saving 5% off of that. That's, as I say, as at least close to as good as your investments. And that's the shit that I'm looking at now. And now I actually have the fucking time to do that. And let alone the resources to do that. And I, for one, am glad that that's a fucking thing. I played my cards right. I've gotten a couple of good hands, and now I can do that. Cappy says, don't try until you're 35 or not even 35 yet. And now I can fucking do that before even that fucking milestone. Don't worry, I still have the gray and everything, but there's that. I'm ahead of the game. Ray John's here. What's wrong with fat chicks? You know what's wrong with fat chicks. They're the opposite of fat cigars. That's their problem. And they probably don't even like those either. But no, 2020, I made it work for me. I'm in a much better place. I have much better neighbors. I know who my friends and enemies are. We hashed that shit the fuck out. It was a cleansing fucking fire. Okay. People that I wanted to be friendly with, they turned out to be enemies. Now I know. Because I didn't know before, but now I know. I figured out a lot of other things as far as that goes. I got a lot of repairs done to my vehicle and, got my employment. My employment got better. I make more money now in a company that pays more money. I have no problem with this fucking year, the 2020 going on. Not one. Yeah, shit went wrong. But it ended up working out in my fucking favor. And it's because I spent the time to make it work in my favor. And I think that's a deciding factor. Okay, 2020 sucked. According to who? You could have you could have sat back and let it happen to you. I get it. I would love to be at the bar right now, but I'm doing this fucking show. And even earlier in the year, I was. But now that's not on the table. I wish I could be at the bar. That's not happening. And so, what can I do instead? This is it. So, I will do this instead. I'll give you assholes some fucking content to listen to. Problem? I wish I could be at the bar and talking to other people who are my fellow man and are local people and whatever. That's not on the table anymore. What is on the table? Talking to you assholes instead. Whether it draws any benefit, whatever. I don't care. I'm just here to talk. That's it. And whether you tune in or not, that's on you. But it makes me happy to be able to do this. And that's what matters. And so I get that done. There you go. Problem solved. Now we'll talk about the restaurants that are out here. Some of the ones that are close by and the ones that I work with. You can't have you can't have dining in. But what you can do is you could put tents outside, basically. Which that's still dine in, but somehow it isn't dined in because reasons. Began people outside in the fucking streets or in the back alleys or whatever. They're still inside, but you can still serve them. Don't try to navigate that fucking nonsense because it just leads to a path of madness. But at least they're doing that. They're staying alive. And I wish that they didn't have to do all that shit. They have to sink all the money and to get these tents and all this other shit just to have people come over and stay and patronize their businesses. But they're okay. And as far as this goes, again, sinning and winning. It's been a good fucking ride for me. I don't know about you, but it has been for me. I've enjoyed just the last few weeks. It's been a great fucking ride. 2020 has been fine for me. It has. There's been challenges for that, and it had nothing really to do with what 2020 had to do with for everyone else. It was shit that was specific for me. Again, I had to find a new place, new phone, knew a lot of shit, but what ended up replacing what was there before is better. I'm in a much better place now. I love where I live now. This is much better. And you know what? I wouldn't trade this for anything. Probably the biggest regret I would have is I love my next door neighbors at the old place, and they're cool as fuck. They still are. I keep in contact with them to this day. But at the end of the day, I'm in a much better place than I was there. And so I like it here. Talk about sinning and winning. Definitely going on here. Definitely. And just to touch on this real quick. Now I'm muted these fucking assholes, but the retards that they wanted to argue with me on online, and you're always gonna have people that want to argue with you on Twitter or whatever. I used them for their intended purpose because I knew they were going to be attack drones. They're just going to argue. It doesn't matter if you're right. It doesn't matter if you're intellectually honest. They're going to find a way to argue because they don't like what you're saying. So I got the screenshots. Hopefully they're still saved on the old device, let alone this one. And then they get muted. Who cares? I don't want to talk to them anymore. As I say to them, you go ahead and have the last word. I hear it makes your feet your penis feel bigger. Emphasis on feel bigger. And that's something I've dealt with for decades. It's nothing new. Whatever. But I do that for a reason. It Give me a moment. I'm gonna pour myself some more whiskey. Or Deca whiskey, by the way. Look, they're used to talking all kinds of shit and they don't have to suffer any consequences. They've never been punched in the face. None of them have. Ask me how I know. If they have, they wouldn't be saying what the fuck they're saying now. So fuck them. I don't care. Fine, they want to talk all kinds of shit because they think they're safe behind the safety of their smartphones. Go ahead. Guys, go ahead and do that. My job is to reveal reality here. And if you can't deal with that, then you're not going to be able to deal with what the hell I have here. That's all. And you know what? I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this. Again, do what everyone else tells you to do. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment, and all this other bullshit. Until next time, stay free, keep it tactical, and above all else, be chaos, my friends.